we really want to hear your story tonight. So if you have something that you'd like to share, this is your forum. So that's the primary purpose for Thursday nights, is an opportunity for you to say what kind of results you've gotten from any of the Engage Global products. So for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones, and today is March the 2nd, 2023. It is March the 2nd, right? Let me just double check this. Yeah, March 2nd, 2023. And it's a little bit after 7 o'clock, about 5 minutes after 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 6 o'clock, after 6, Eastern Standard Time. We normally have our meetings on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So 765 is when my program or my team is normally presenting meetings. Bernardine often will handle the Thursday night discussion for us. The theme of this discussion is good health was my decision. See, on Tuesdays, we say good health is now a choice. On Thursdays, is good health was my decision. So that kind of gives you an indication that you now have an opportunity to say that you decided that you want to make some adjustments, that therefore you got some results. So if you want to share some of those results tonight, you're more than welcome to. As a reminder, the FDA has not evaluated any of the comments that are being made tonight. I'm not a doctor, don't claim to be one. I do not claim that Engage Global products, Micro Daily, EMF, Brain Boost, CBD, Collagen Daily, any of the Engage Global products will cure, treat, or certainly not trying to diagnose any disease. I strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust when it comes to making decisions about your health and your well-being. Meetings like this are not designed to be a substitute for a visit to your primary health care professional. So we recommend that you do that. Many times you can talk to your doctor and just show them the ingredients on the side of the bottle. And a lot of times doctors will say, well, that's good stuff. That's a lot of good stuff on that bottle. And they'll encourage it. There are some rare times when doctors will say, yeah, no, I don't want you taking anything that's going to interfere with my treatment. So I got one comment for you on that one. Dr. Prasad has found a way to give us the food that's missing from our food. So that's what you're dealing with here, is you're getting the food that's missing from our food. As a matter of fact, let me just show you something real quick here. We'll just page through this real fast, just so that you have some idea of where this came from. Because a lot of times that's the question that many folks have. It's not uncommon for people to say that their doctor told them not to take something. One of my mothers, she was like a spiritual mom for me, got tremendous benefits from Micro Daily Hydro. And when I say tremendous benefits, I remember when I saw her, she was, I used to have a little business writing up insurance claims and helping people to get the right amount of money from their insurance companies for a claim. And she was affected by one of the hurricanes that hit Florida. So she called me up and says, can you help me with this claim? Because they sent her a check for, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000. And in my opinion, it should have been more like $25,000. So anyway, I went over to see her and hadn't seen her in quite a while. And she just really looked kind of bad. And I told her that. She said she didn't feel so good. Her blood pressure was out of control. So she was having trouble with that. And I told her there's something that she could do. She started with the hydro, handed her a bag of the Micro Daily Hydro. And but at that time, it came in bags, by the way. So this goes back about 6 years or so. It wasn't in a box like you see them today. So told her how to take it. She sent me a text message about 3 days later. She was screaming. She said she couldn't believe it. She was so excited. Her blood pressure, she had been on 3 different blood pressure medicines and it wasn't bringing her pressure down. But she saw a decrease in her blood pressure right away within just a few days. She said she had never seen the numbers go down. That she was so excited to see the numbers going in the right direction. And I was excited because basically she was heading in the same direction that my own mom had gone down. My mom had suffered with diabetes and was going into renal failure and all the other complications that came from that, many things that I did not understand as a 26-year-old young man. But now I knew a whole lot better, and offered this as a possible solution for her. She went to her doctor, asked her doctor about it, and the doctor said those infamous words: "No, I don't think you should take this because it will interfere with my treatment." She stopped taking it, and her blood pressure returned back to its high state, just like it was before. And maybe 6 months, a year later, she was dialyzing. She had kidney dialysis 3 times a week. And about 2 years after that, which was about a year ago now, she passed away. It's very, very sad to see that. It's very sad to see that. And nothing would convince her that maybe she should go back and rethink what had been helping her. Because, see, the doctor, as well-intentioned as he was, did not realize that what she was taking was simply nutrition. And that's all. And she was simply trying to live her best life. And she could have had a much better quality of life. I mean, just to me, I mean, being alive is better than being dead. The alternative is not so good. But her quality of life certainly had started to improve just by virtue of getting her blood pressure under control. So there's some people who would just do anything just to have that benefit from anything. And that's what she was getting. The other thing the doctor didn't realize was that the source of that product, the origin of it, had nothing to do with competing with mainstream medicine. It had everything to do with the government's effort to improve the quality of life and the healthiness of soldiers on the battlefield. If he had taken the time to do a little research, maybe he would have found that out. So it was all about, soldiers. And it was called originally military micronutrient formula. That was the original name of the product. And Dr. Prasad is the scientist behind it. The government didn't just accept this vitamin as being something that was going to benefit the lives of soldiers on the battlefield. They didn't just accept Dr. Prasad's word for it. They wanted proof. And part of the proof, after 6 years of testing, part of the proof was this right here. Look at that. 9 months of safety testing. See this? Safety test complete. That was in 2004. Safety test complete. 9 months of safety testing with the U.S. Military Internal Review Board. That's the IRB, the Military Internal Review Board, the IRB. This is a major thing, and it passed all their tests. Part of the test was, will it contraindicate with any known pharmaceuticals? Will it contraindicate with anything, any medication? So if this doctor had done his research, he would have found out that the United States government had already determined that there was nothing that would contraindicate with any doctor's medicine. The matter had already been established as a fact that no, it doesn't. So it doesn't matter what pharmaceutical drug you're on. You could stand to benefit from food. I mean, unless the doctor tells you, you know what, you really shouldn't be eating food. So if a doctor tells you you shouldn't be eating food, first thing I would suggest is you might consider getting a second opinion. But most doctors won't tell you to not eat food. So that being the case, you're simply eating now the food that's been missing from our food. And that's what's been proven by this. And this timeline here just goes to show you that Microdaily is phenomenal. This is the brilliant mind behind the product. Dr. Prasad is not just a scientist, not just a former professor, but this man was also invited to be a member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee in the category of medicine. Dr. Prasad is no cream puff. He's no joke. So he is of the highest caliber. So, and I mentioned to you already that he was professor at the University of Colorado. So as far as product formulators are concerned, I challenge anyone to find any product formulator with this man's credentials. I don't think there's any other product formulator on planet Earth with the kind of credentials that this man has. He is the scientist. He's the product formulator behind MicroDaily, not some college kid that learned what vitamins were and came out and wants to make a name for himself and experiment on you and me. This is the guy whose life has already been proven that he knows a little something about nutrition. He knows a little bit of something about a variety of serious health conditions. I mean, a serious variety of them. Evidence of that is right here. This is the guy who discovered that vitamin E succinate has, check it out, anti-cancer properties. Dr. Prasad is the scientist. Think about all the thousands, maybe millions of scientists in the world. This is the guy who figured out that the vitamin E succinate, not just vitamin E, specifically vitamin E succinate, has anti-cancer properties. This is the guy that figured it out. He's the product formulator. He's also the guy who figured out that something called butyric acid, which comes as a result of fermentation, small fatty acid that is formed by the fermentation of fibers in the gut, also has anti-cancer properties. This man knows a little something about the gut biome. Oh, that's significant. I mean, it may seem to you like, okay, that's just data, and it is data. But that should be mind-numbing data to you and to me, that this man is that level of scientist. He figured out stuff that other scientists hadn't thought about. And you want to know how many? This document here says 250 publications, peer-reviewed publications, but I think he's up to 260 now. So he's been published some 260 times, and he's written quite a few books. So Dr. Prasad is the guy behind these products. So, and by the way, the fact that he was a professor of at the University of Colorado School of Medicine, that meant he taught doctors. So if you got a doctor who's challenging something that the professor formulated, you have to scratch your head and say, does that doctor really know? You know, this is the man who was the educator of doctors. He's the guy that schooled them, trained them so that they could be doctors. He formulated this and proved to the government, to the military, that it won't contraindicate with any known medicines. And remember, he was a professor in medicine. So he knows whether it will contraindicate or not. So you can feel confident basically taking something that he recommends and knowing that it's good for the body. And this statement here, I used to think was hyperbole, but I don't think that anymore. It's the most scientifically validated supplement in the world. And so you can feel confident. You can feel confident in taking this product. And the ingredients are very simple. There they are on the left side of the screen. There's nothing special about them except that Dr. Prasad was very careful to make sure that everything here is from natural sources, and everything that he put in that bottle is beneficial. Everything is beneficial. And it's the only products in the world that have his unique CQF standard. He will not put his name or this seal on any product unless it meets the CQF, the right combination of ingredients, the right quantity of ingredients, the right form of ingredients. It won't get that label unless Dr. Prasad approves it and authorizes it. So the quality is of the highest level that you can get. And by the way, you can get this brochure from whoever invited you to this discussion tonight. They'll be happy to share that with you. And we're not going to go into a lot of the science here unless some of you ask a question about this a little bit later in our discussion. I'm just thumbing through this real quick just to show it to you so that you know that there is benefits and value, because this is, by the way, just give you time to warm up so you can share your story. Because if you have a story and if you told your story, you know, there may be an update to your story. You can feel free to share that as well. But part of the reason why MicroDaily EMF came along, this is the latest, the highest level version of MicroDaily that Dr. Prasad created. He did that because of something called 5G. You familiar with 5G? 5G is about 700 times more powerful than the original cell phone technology. And they consider the original cell phones to be like microwaves. So today, 5G is 700 times more powerful than that. So Dr. Prasad realized, since he was the world's first radiation biology PhD, he realized that we needed some additional nutrients to give us adequate defense against radiation. And that's why he put 4 additional ingredients in microdaily EMF. So you're getting real high level of defense against it. So if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't need anything that strong, and that may be the case. You may be that kind of person that you don't really need something that strong. Then go with the original. That's fine. You can't go wrong with that. This is also part of the arsenal, CBD, extracted from hemp. So this is not extracted from anything like marijuana. So there's no THC in this. And so it has no psychotropic effects. The United States government has completely legalized hemp plant in this country. So this CBD extracted from hemp, not from any other plant that someone might claim that it is. These are two other products also. The purple bottle is in between the green and the red. So it's like halfway in between. So if your budget will only allow you to do one level step up, then go with the microdaily methylated. But here lately, personally, I've just been taking the green bottle. I've been taking 6 capsules of the green, 3 times the normal amount, 2 or 3 times a day. And it has given me a great deal of energy. I love it. And I have to admit that this is one of my favorite products right here, is the Brain Boost. So I generally will take a couple of these before I do meetings like this, just to kind of wake myself up and make sure that I am about as alert as I can, because this statement right here, I think, is so true, boy. It helps tremendously with less brain fog. But the energy is very, very significant. The eye boost, if you want to give yourself improved vision, then add the eye boost to your armamentarium as well. And this is just some scientific data about the product. This is a whole list of all of the patents that have been granted on the product. My favorite is still patent number 7605145. Can you find that on the screen? Yeah, well, if you've been here before, you already know this down here on the bottom left. And you also know just how I emphasize these words right here: micronutrients formulations for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. So diabetes is a big killer in this country, very closely related to heart disease. And heart disease is the #1 killer in this country. So diabetes and heart disease go hand in hand. But notice that the United States government granted this a patent with the word treatment in the title. So even they have acknowledged the value of putting this product in your body. So I highly recommend this to anyone who's not taking it already. And these are some of the books that Dr. Prasad has published. And the topics, like I said, are all over the place. They include topics on radiation, topics on concussion, topics on traumatic brain injury, PTSD, topics on cancer, topics on diabetes, topics on Parkinson's and Huntington's disease, topics on heart disease, Alzheimer's. His latest book is on dementia, and really the list goes on and on and on. And he's right now working on another book. Can you believe it? This man at 88 years of age is writing another book. He's updating his book on diabetes. There's new information that's come out on diabetes. He's putting it in a book. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks with Dr. Prasad. So this coming Sunday, by the way, I'm going to be interviewing him about how micronutrients play a role in optimal health. That's what this coming Sunday will be about. So we can look forward to that. Okay, but in the meantime, there's some folks here right now that are wondering if microdaily is of any value. There's people are sitting here right now saying, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I've heard that all before. I've heard it. You got to do me one better. I need to hear it from somebody else like me. And remember, folks, like I said, the FDA has not evaluated my comments. I'm not a doctor. Don't do anything I say because I say it. I strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. We're not making any claims that microdaily will cure, treat, or diagnose disease. These products are for nutrition, supplementation purposes only. So now, Ann Davenport, you raising your hand, and somehow miraculously, I'm actually able to see you raising your hand on the screen. So let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm just so anxious to tell my story.
Well, you know what? We are anxious to hear your story. And you know how anxious we are?
Yeah.
You know how anxious? I'm getting ready to get off the screen because we want to hear your story. Okay.
Well, I started with Micro Daily, just the regular one, because it was less expensive. And I was taking that for quite a while. And all my numbers went down. I'm diabetic, heart problems, all of the high blood pressure, had all of it. And my numbers went down. My A1C went from about 9 down to 7.1. And just lately, I was feeling all right, but like I need a little boost. So I added the eye boost because I was having problems with my eyes, injections, and I no longer have those because I started the eye boost. But I went up to EMF, and that's when I saw a significant improvement. My last labs were just tremendous. The doctor could not believe it. They wanted to know what was I doing to get my numbers down. All my labs were normal and no protein in urine, kidney function, liver function, pancreas, everything was normal. Uh, A1C was 6.1, and my cholesterol overall was 140. So I thought that was so tremendous that I went down in those numbers, and I thought I'd never do it. My blood pressure was not really out of range, but it could be better. And now I'm just registering mostly between 119 to 125 with my blood pressure. So I thought that was so significant, and I'm taking the EMF only and the iBoost. But they were overjoyed. I gave the doctor's office, the heart doctor and my primary doctor. They all wanted to know. I went to the heart doctor last week, and he wanted to know how was I doing this, because I had surgery, heart, about 8 years ago, and I have not had any more problems. So he wanted to know why I was changing doctors wanted to come, and I told him I needed a cardiologist in the area to just check every year, for a yearly checkup. So he said, well, you're doing fine. And the surgery was successful, all of it, in 2014, I think. And I've been doing good ever since. But the micro daily is what really got me back. Then I had the COVID back in 2021, and I got over it. But what really brought me back through that, I got off of the micro daily back a while back, but really what brought me back to it again was that I didn't have any energy, even though I was doing fine. I didn't have the energy. And then when I went on micro daily, that improved my health overall. So I feel great now. I just started exercising. The doctor, yeah, of course, eating the proper diet and losing weight is going to be a key as well. But overall, I think I'm on the right track, and I'll always recommend micro daily, and I'll be taking it forever.
That is absolutely wonderful story, and I'm so glad that we got your name right. First of all, so we had the record straight on this.
Mhm.
But that is amazing that you saw the results. Would you mind just telling us again what affected you? What change did you see in your blood pressure?
Well, my blood pressure was never really, really high. I would be like 145, a little above sometimes, if I ate things. But I think a lot of it was my diet. I did good with my diet with salt. And it was 135, 145. Sometimes it could go a little higher. But now I'm like 119 to 125, 130 maybe.
You know that's the
But
blood pressure of a 20-year-old, right?
yeah, the doctor said too, they were amazed at my labs because I don't have a protein. I've been diabetic for over 30 years, and I don't have any effect of the diabetes so
No
far.
effects of the
I
diabetes
didn't
so far. And you
so
saw
far.
your
So that's
A1,
why I'm so
yeah, you saw your A1C
yeah,
go
go
from
down. My A1C
what is it?
it's 6.1 now. The
It's
last time
6.1.
I had it back in December.
And what's your fasting sugar levels?
Maybe about 94 to 125.
And I think anybody who's on here now that's diabetic, I think you automatically know that when you have fasting sugar levels at that level, that is unbelievable. That's amazing.
It
That's
is unbelievable.
yeah. And what kind of fasting sugar levels were you seeing before, Ann?
Well, I was up high because when I first started really paying attention to it, because I had diabetes, I took a pill and I thought I was fine because I was very busy, active, and didn't have any effect. And it would stay pretty much, it would be a slightly elevated through the years. But I got where I couldn't control it. And it was like, I think when I first started really paying attention to it to the doctor, it was like 10 point something.
Your
And
A1C
then
was
I
10
worked
point something.
down,
So what was your
yes.
fasting sugar levels running around that time?
Uh, 155, 160, 170.
Okay.
Occasionally it would be lower, but it was up and down
Um,
yo-yoing, yeah.
okay. Okay. So, but your A1C was at 10. So you in full blown diabetes at that point.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I got it down to about 8, and I could never move from 8 until I started the micro daily, and that's when I saw a significant change in it. It was amazing. I was shocked to see it that low,
Wow.
but it went down 6.1.
Now your
So
doctor
hopefully I'll
says
see
you, and the doctors want to know what you're doing to have such a huge effect like that.
information on micro daily and Dr. Facade, all that. I gave them all of it. The heart doctor and my primary doctor, they wanted to know. I brought the bottle so they could look at the bottle. I know the PA said, I'm gonna have to do some research on this. She got it and wrote everything down and asked me all these questions about it. And she said, I gotta look into this at the heart doctor.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations. And every time I
Thank
hear
you.
someone in your situation, because it reminds me again of my two mothers and what they went through. And if they had stayed the course, I can't help but think that maybe their results would have been what you're experiencing right now. So I'm always happy when I hear anyone getting those kinds of results. And by the way, do you mind sharing with us just how young you are, Ann?
I'm 72.
72 years young. Okay. And that's a beautiful thing. Thank you very much for being willing to share your story.
Maybe I'll live to be 80, 85.
Yeah, no. I think
Yeah.
if you keep doing what you're doing, you can add quite a few more decades to your life. But the main thing is you're adding quality to your life. So you're adding quality to your years. See, not just extending life, you're adding years to your life to your years.
I had one more thing. I went to the hospital to take a test because I did an x-ray on my legs because I was having a problem with my left toe. It was nothing, they didn't know what it was. It was nothing wrong. They kept taking x-rays and whatever. So I went to have this test done for my blood flow in the arteries. So I went and they said, just nothing to be concerned about the first time. When I went back the second time, there was nothing. They couldn't find, and it was normal. Everything was normal in the blood flow, in the arteries, and everything. Now that was what they really triggered me, that I would be on microdaily for life, because I just knew I'm going to start having limb problems and cutting on stuff. And so the toe went away, got better, and everything. So I don't have any problem with that. But that was the main reason that I would stay on it. I said, I'm gonna have to lose weight and cut food because I got to get this every month.
You said you're gonna cut back on food, right?
Yes, I'm gonna have to take this every month. Yeah, because it was saying my legs, and I said, "Oh my God!" And I was feeling it, but then now I'm not having any problem anymore. And they did the second test, and it was normal.
Wow. Now, what were you feeling in your legs? You were feeling poor circulation?
Well, I wasn't feeling anything because it was early, but I had this problem with this left toe was sore all the
Ah,
time, and I didn't know what it was coming from. And
ah,
so really it was coming from lack of circulation to that.
that's right.
And that's why they sent me for that. So I had a vascular thing on my neck done where they unstopped the artery.
Yeah.
And then the doctor just he was gonna have to do the right side, but when I went back, there was no evidence of any blockage at all. So I'm reborn.
Wow. Did you
All the things cleared up.
and did you listen to Dr. Prasad this past Sunday?
No, I didn't.
You should
It's
listen.
on diabetes.
No, it was on heart disease, cardiovascular disease. Listen to the recording from this past Sunday, and he described the test that was done that shows what micronutrients effect they have on the carotid artery and the calcification of it.
Well, I was supposed to have the second one done, and then now they don't see anything wrong with it.
That's my point.
I was supposed to go back.
You should listen to this past Sunday, because what you're just describing is exactly what was proven in firemen decades ago, quite some time ago. What you just described is what he said they did a clinical study on, and it proved it. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
Well, thank you.
I'm so happy about that artery thing because
Yeah, you should
just
be.
cleared up. And I was about to get into bad,
Yes,
I was
you were.
too. So
Yeah.
that cleared up, I'm so happy.
No, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for sharing your story. If you're willing to, I'd like to add your story to part of Dr. Prasad's observational studies. Okay, so Dolores can help you to get in contact with me so that we can include you in the observational study that Dr. Prasad is going to do on diabetes. Okay, so make sure that you make contact with me on that. But thank you again very much for that story. Okay, and we have now Julia Jones. Are you asking a question, or you want to share your story, Julia?
I want to ask a question.
Mm-hmm. Go
I
ahead.
have a wound on my leg, and that's what I want to know. Do y'all have something I could take for that?
It's one of those wounds that would not heal, huh?
Yeah, it was. I have a lot of fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and it put a blister on my leg, and then it burst and turned it up sore.
Yeah. It's infected now. Here's what you want. I would suggest that you do. You can always try this, because remember, microdaily is just the food that's missing from our food, and it's an amazing thing what happens when you add proper nutrition to an area that is damaged or that is hurting in some way. Okay, it's an amazing thing what happens. The body uses those nutrients right there in the area that's needed the most. So I would suggest that you take some of the original microdaily and or whichever one you have, and mix it up and make it into a little paste with maybe some extra virgin olive oil or some coconut oil. In fact, coconut oil might even be the easiest to use. Just use like a tablespoon of coconut oil and put a teaspoon, and with like 3 or so capsules of microdaily, and keep putting that on there as a paste with a bandage, and let it do its job. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. A little bit of organic coconut oil, and mix it in with microdaily.
Coconut oil, or what kind of other oil?
Coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And mix it up and put it on there like a paste.
Yeah. Make it nice and pasty. But you need it moist also. So it needs to be good and moist, and just keep a bandage on it. And if you take and put like saran wrap on it so that the moisture stays in there and it stays in place, the longer it stays in place, the greater the chances of it helping itself. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And you should be seeing some results. Please make sure you come back and let us know.
Oh, I'll be on here all the time.
Okay. Let us know how it works out. How much microdaily are you taking now?
Well, I just started Saturday.
You just started Saturday. Okay.
Taking 2 a day.
You take three
times a day.
2-3 times a day. Okay. I got you. And that's fine. That's fine. You might want to increase the amount if you can. Okay. If your budget will allow for it, Which one are you taking? The red one or the green one? The green one?
The green one?
Yeah. So you're taking 2-3 times a day. If your budget will allow it, I'd encourage you to increase that a little bit. Take like 3 of them 3 times a day.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
My budget ain't gonna lie, but it's gonna lie because I want my this to work.
I know.
I'm gonna get some more.
Yep. Do what you can. All right. Do
Okay.
what you can. And the original formula, even though the original the formula has been improved with the purple and with the red, that green one is extremely, extremely powerful. But just gotta up it a little bit. Just put a little bit extra in there, and it's
Okay.
amazing what it will start to do to your body. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story and for asking your question.
Okay.
And now we have Nakia Brown. And you have a question, or you want to share your story with us, Nakia?
I actually have a question. Well, hold on. Let me, I guess, take myself off of, so you can at least see my face.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
Is my camera working?
It doesn't look like it is.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yes, okay, we can see you now.
Okay. Hi. Well, I have a question. I just started, I haven't started using Micro Daily yet. I have a good friend of mine, Susie Thomas, and she recommended it for me. She also recommended it to another friend, and it worked very well for her. And so I wanted to try it for myself. I have quite a
What
bit.
part of the country are you in?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee, Florida. And Susie Thomas, you said, is your friend.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. And she was telling me about how well our other friend was doing, and then my other friend that was on it telling me how well she was doing. And so I was wondering if it could help me. I have quite a few things going on with me being so young. I have colitis, proctitis, actually, to be more correct. Proctitis, irritable bowel syndrome, and let's see here. I also have gastritis. Basically a lot of stomach issues, a lot of female issues, which caused me to have a hysterectomy, but I have one good ovary left that I'm still having problems with. I'm on heart medication also. And I had 4 mini strokes back when I was 37, which was like a few years ago, and I'm 41 now. So I'm still, I'm doing a lot better than what I was doing. But I've noticed that like the foggy memory, sometimes I can't really communicate my thoughts clearly. It's a lot of things that's going on with me. And I was wondering if like Micro Daily will help with that.
Well, the long and the short of it is we can't make any medical claims.
Yeah, I know. I know that. I was told that too. No medical claims.
Yeah, we can't make any medical claims, and we can't say that it's going to cure, treat, or heal in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to answer your question with a question. If a person was malnourished, what do they need the most?
Nourishment.
So the evidence of malnourishment is all kinds of dis-ease where the body is out of whack. So if you give the body what it's craving, what's the chances of that out of whack will go into whack?
I guess it'll go back to whack.
So if you want to head back to whack, find the nutrition that your body needs. So if you put into your body the food that's missing from our food, it is amazing how the body responds. It's amazing. Now, the more you put in your body, the better, the happier your body ends up being. I mean, it just does this little thing. I mean, listen to the stories here from Ann Davenport. I mean,
Yeah.
she's in her 70s. And you know why her doctors are shocked more than anything?
Mm-hmm.
Her doctors are shocked because when you get to that age, what do you think would happen normally to you, to the number of diseases that you start getting as we get older?
It climbs.
What happens to the number of medications that we get on as we get older?
It climbs.
Why is hers going backwards? Why is she breaking the pattern? Why is she not cooperating?
Because she's doing what she's supposed to do and taking my micro daily.
So you mean to tell me she realized that she was in a malnourished state and she found food that was missing from her food?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I just recently, like last month, had a stress test done, and they said that my heart is actually doing better. And I forgot what it was that the doctor said I had previously. It was closely associated with a heart murmur, but they no longer saw that defect. And that was just from me cutting back on eating, not eating meat and dairy. I increased my fruit and vegetable intake. I'm still struggling. I was still struggling with energy because of everything that's going on with me. But because just cutting those things out, they saw that difference. They still wanted me to keep taking my
of course,
my heart medication and stuff, and I'm like, I can't stand taking medication. There's too many side effects to it. That's why I love natural remedies. I love natural things. With the closer we get back to nature, the better our bodies will be.
Completely understood. Completely understood. And that's the reason why this product in that brochure is referred to as daily nutrition to live your best life. Mm-hmm. So that's all we're talking about. So in your case, if your budget will allow for it, I would suggest that you take 2 times the normal amount plus an extra dose.
I'm waiting for my order now. I ordered it last week. I ordered the EMF and the probiotic.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And
now,
I'm just waiting on that.
On the probiotic, it's going to take a little while for your gut biome to start to normalize. Mm-hmm. So you might benefit from doubling up on the probiotic. So instead of taking one once a day, you might want to take one twice a day, to just go ahead and get your gut biome, the bacteria in your gut, going in the right direction. You would also benefit from a good high quality colostrum. If you can find that, that's amazing in healing and reducing the inflammation. Anytime you got itises, and I don't care where the itis is, anywhere in the colon, it starts to heal itself. But if you can't go that route, start with the microdaily first, and you just keep with the high amounts of it.
I'm sorry, what's colostrum?
Colostrum, bovine colostrum from a cow. The colostrum is the first milk that comes out of the mother's breast after she's pregnant and has a baby. The cows is the same thing. That colostrum that comes out of the cow is unbelievably, it resets the whole body's immune system. It's phenomenal, the benefits that it does. It reduces inflammation in a tremendous way, plus helps the immune system get much smarter and work a lot better. Phenomenal.
Does it have the human? Well, of course it's an animal, so it wouldn't have the human anyways. I know that that dairy has a growth hormone.
Immunoglobulins.
Yeah, it's so it's like that. It was that.
Massive amounts of immunoglobulins, phenomenal for the immune system, phenomenal for the gut biome, phenomenal for inflammation anywhere in the colon, anywhere in the digestive system. It's amazing.
Okay.
But the microdaily is going to help with that. So stick with that for now. Mm-hmm. But if you can get a good a high quality colostrum, that's good. The best one I found is called Immune RX, and it's available at americsbio.com. So
yeah, I'm just worried about the whole dairy thing because I'm trying to cut back on anything that's like dairy or anything that has to do with animal anything.
I understand.
Yeah, because I'm trying to do mostly like plant-based. I can't say vegan because that's its own beast by itself. But
I completely understand, but just you need to understand one thing.
Mhm.
When it comes to colostrum, if you believe in creation,
Mhm.
imagine the creator deciding the most important nutrition that a mammal needs. And guess where it is? It's in the colostrum.
Okay.
The cow will die if it does not get colostrum within the first 3 days. It will die. The entire immune system is based on that. That nutrition is so packed with nutrients and so harmless, so benign, so innocuous that all it does is help. It has only positive properties to it. Colostrum, bovine colostrum. We can't get human colostrum. Even if you can get human colostrum, right? It only has 50% of the immune system programming code, but bovine colostrum has 100% of the immune system programming code in it. So don't brush away from colostrum. It is powerful, okay, in helping. And remember, if the creator designed that as the first food for a baby, that's something. He didn't say go eat plants. It didn't say go grind up some lettuce. He didn't say go grind up some wheatgrass. He didn't say go grind up some of this. Colostrum is the first thing the baby will get.
Yeah, because that's designed for the baby. Like as the child, as that infant grows.
Which is a real indication of its real power. And the research has indicated that it does amazing things for a human, for adults. I mean, my wife had, you wouldn't believe the kind of issues that she had besides leaky gut syndrome. That was a big issue. It healed all the leaks in the gut. And many of the things that you're describing, especially what you're describing is gut dysbiosis. And Dr. Prasad commented on that this past Sunday, by the way, in the discussion. Gut dysbiosis is very closely to cardiac issues, very, very closely related. So you got to get that under control. So the massive amount of inflammation you're dealing with, get it under control. Now, Micro Daily by itself may do it for you.
Okay.
But keep it in the back of your mind.
Okay.
Immune RX. You will not go wrong with that. You add that into the equation, boom. Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to hearing your story. But
right.
get those numbers up. All right. Get your quantity of product up, and you'll see a big difference. Okay.
Okay.
Looking forward to hearing back from you again. Did I say your name right? Nakia?
Nakia.
Nakia. Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you very much. Julia Jones, you had another question, a follow-up question, Julia?
Yes. Excuse me. I'm putting a cream on my wound right now called Santel. Do I still use it?
I would highly recommend that you make a switch. If that has not been healing you, then that tells you something, right?
So don't use that when I'm using that.
I can't tell you, I will never tell you to go against what your doctor told you, but I'm just saying to you, if it's working for you, stick with it. But if you want to try to resolve your issue, then you might be thinking about trying something different.
I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
Do I mix it with water?
The Micro Daily?
Uh-huh.
You don't need to mix it with water if you mix it in with the coconut oil or the olive oil.
Oh, that's right, the coconut oil. I better write it down. My brain don't work.
Yeah, because that'll help it to get.
Oil.
Yeah, that'll help it to be pasty and will help it to stay. Plus, the coconut oil or the olive oil both have healing properties.
Okay. Olive oil or coconut oil.
Yeah, either one that you can get your hands on, but make it good and pasty and make sure your bandage is going to hold it in place, and,
Okay.
and wrap some saran wrap around it to keep the moisture in, so no air gets to it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Carolyn Benjamin, you might have the last question on this one.
Okay, I have a question about that colostrum. I have inflammation, especially in my shoulders, but I'm taking the EMF and the probiotic and I just started with the collagen.
Good.
And I actually just started that this month, but I started taking the EMF at the beginning of the month. But I haven't seen much results with my inflammation. So this collagen, this colostrum that you're suggesting, is that gonna relieve it right away, or is it gonna be a long time?
Colostrum would be more specifically will have an effect on the gastrointestinal system. So I'm not suggesting that for that type of inflammation. How much microdaily are you taking?
I'm doing the 2 times a day. And at times I was doing it three times a day.
Is that the
3 times a day when I heard someone else say they did it. But
is that the EMF?
EMF.
Yeah, you might want to, I suggest you go with at least 6 twice a day. So go with that and be patient. It could take a couple months to see some real results with that.
Okay.
But if you don't, who's your sponsor, by the way?
Beth
Sturdivant.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. She's good people. Yeah. And she'll have some very good suggestions for you. But I would double it up. I'd go at least 6 twice a day.
Okay.
And be patient and ride that out and see where it goes.
Okay.
If you don't get the kind of results quickly as you would like, then there are some additional things that we would suggest. But I think in time that's going to take care of it for you.
Okay.
Unless there's
I don't need the
mechanical. No, unless you're having some serious, gastrointestinal issues, then you don't necessarily need that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just stick with it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking your question. Okay, so there we have it, folks. This meeting, my meetings, I'm Jonathan Jones, by the way, so just for the record, today is Thursday, March the 2nd, 2023. It's been my pleasure, my privilege to be your host and moderator for this program. I have this program 3 times a week. I do this on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I do this on Thursdays at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, and on Sundays at 5 o'clock. So all my times I use is Eastern because that's where I am. I'm sorry. So 7, 6, and 5. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is the order. So if you decide that there's some information here that you think could have been of benefit to you, then feel free to share the recording with someone that you care about. I also have most of my meetings are recorded and they're on my YouTube channel. So everyone has access to that. It's just right there. So there's nothing hidden. You're able to get access to that at any time. Just go to YouTube and you can search for Jonathan Jones. You'll find me, or YouTubeJonathan.com will take you directly there. YouTube.com, YouTubeJonathan.com will take you there, or YouTube.com/Jonathan Jones will also take you there. So those are the ways that you can access that. But this coming Sunday, if there's somebody that you care about, you want to have them here this Sunday, because I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Prasad about optimal health and the role micronutrients play in optimal health. One of the patents that was granted to the product was directly related to optimal health. Okay, so we'll see you guys this coming Sunday. And it's at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be with Dr. Prasad. You guys have a good night. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Quite welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.